just want to share my story, at least a piece of my story.
Hello everyone, I'm Georgia, and most of you have known me from Journey with Georgia and Poised to Succeed. And sitting with me today is Jeniel. So I know that most of you have met Jeniel from M&J Let's Chat and also Real Talk, where we host the show together. But today Jeniel and I are gonna have a little sit down chat because you're gonna know another side of Jeniel that we've maybe talked about a little bit but you haven't discussed. So Jeniel, say hi to our viewers.
Hello everyone, and thank you so much for having me, Georgia.
I'm delighted to have you. So Jeniel is a songwriter, a singer. Jeniel dissects the word of God, and she's a worshiper. Then you would say she's a dynamite woman in God. That's like, think about it. That combination, and when you put it together, it's like an explosion. So today we're here to talk about Jeniel's singing career. So Jeniel, you have a new song coming out, right?
Yes, I do.
Can you tell us a little bit about the title and about the song?
So the title of this song is called Story, and this song is just so much to me. I am in love with this song because this song is actually my real story. It's me sharing a piece of my story with the world. So it's a beautiful song. It will be out on March 24th, which will be tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I'm just excited about it. Story is just showing what I've been through and how it has helped me to be the woman I am today. So can't wait for you guys to hear it.
Well, I was going to ask her what's the idea behind that, but she already told us. But something that I want to ask you, Jenny. So when I listened to the song Story, you spoke very in depth about your upbringing, like you were remembering days in your life and the things that you went through, the struggles that you went through. And that is like to go to that vulnerable state. What did the writing process feel like for you to rehash all those memories and pen them out and give it to the world? What was that journey like for you?
Actually, it was very emotional. Even now, listening to the song, I can smell the kerosene lamp that my granddad used to light. Like I could see his face, my grandma's face. Like I could just envision my cousins. Like it was yesterday. So it was a very emotional process.
It was an emotional process. I can imagine. And I want you to tell us a little bit because you've written like quite a few songs. Help, like I love. Praises of Joy, or EP that has been out. I hope you guys are checking her out. Jeniel Henningham on YouTube. She's on, what are some of the sites that people can find your music on? I know Amazon, iCloud. Go on.
So my music are available on every major platform. Wherever music sell, wherever music stream, Jeniel Henningham music is there.
And I hope you guys go out and support her, because growing in an industry where people go after what's popular, it's not that easy. No. But she's there, she's doing it, and she's an independent artist. So I want you guys to go out and support her. But we're gonna go back to your journey into writing Story. And like, were these things that you spoke to your children about? Did you like ever have this conversation with your children about your upbringing? Because I'm pretty sure it's a lot different from theirs, right?
Sometimes depending on, so my kids, they're fortunate for the life that they have now. It's not the life that I had. So sometimes when, they're acting a little spoiled or just acting entitled, I have to kind of bring them back and say, hey, listen, I didn't have this, so appreciate this, be appreciative. So I have not gotten in depth about my journey with my kids, but every now and then I will just, bring them back down to earth.
Yeah. I like that. So Jeniel, tell us, give us an idea, a better idea, like a fuller idea of your upbringing. What was it like?
Okay, so my upbringing.
Where were you born?
Jamaica.
Yeah, where like give us a little bit more.
So I was born in Jamaica, Clarendon. I'm from Thompson Town. That's a
That's in rural Jamaica.
Yes.
So you're more in the countryside.
Yeah, I was just gonna
Okay.
get to that. So it's country, guys.
Mhm.
It's on the countryside, Thompson, and but in Thompson, they have this little village, this little town called Windsor,
Mhm.
and that's where I
That's where you grew up.
yes, that's
Yeah.
where I grew up.
So what was growing up in Windsor like? I know, like from my experience being Jamaican, I know that life was so much different in terms of electricity and like transportation. Like help viewers to understand exactly
And-
where you're
and-
coming
and
from. Like
that's-
what stories about.
So the way that I was brought up was it was not easy, and as you can listen to story, you will hear my journey. So I was in this little town called Windsor, and my family was really poor. Of course, at the time, it was my reality. So all I did was have fun and just couldn't wait to wake up in the morning and play a game or just do something. But, you know, as life goes on, I begin to understand that this is not really it. You know, there's more out there and there's more that I want to experience. And oftentimes I would go to bed early just to dream.
Wow.
And in my dream, I would see, you know, just things and my aim was to achieve those things, which is
Oh, like what you said in your dreams, you'd see things. Like what did you
like I
see?
would see Jeniel, hold the Virgin of Jeniel, singing and just out there doing charity work, helping people, just like different, just doing things, successful things, just living and being prosperous.
Mm-hmm.
And I would go to bed and I would dream, and so I started having this habit where I would go to bed early and then I would dream, and you know, it would just make me feel better. And then the song would just kind of take you a little bit more into how I eventually turned away from God.
Wow.
And just started to do things, becoming a Rasta. Yes.
So like you've literally switched religion.
Yes.
Wow.
So it's a lot, but growing up in Windsor, it wasn't easy because my family in particular was labeled as just poor. And it's so funny, like thinking about it now, people would come from all over, and my grandmother would prepare a place for them to stay and food for them to eat. And now thinking about it, I was, you know, like, we're so poor, but then she had so much to still give,
Wow.
you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's my upbringing, humbled.
So like where we see where Jeniel, like where you grew up as this little girl in this really humbling environment. And the funny thing about it is that these are ways that God prepare us for where we are, and like it's incredible because now you're singing, you're writing and all of that stuff, which is so beautiful that you said that this is something that you dreamt about and that you're literally living the dream that you had anticipated. And I want you to tell us a little bit about where you are now in your music career.
Where am I now in my music career is I'm at this place where I'm at a surrender stage. I don't know if you guys understand. I'm at this place where it doesn't matter if I make money from music. It doesn't matter if I get the fame from music. I know that it is my calling. And now I understand that it is something that God has given me to give back to Him. So at this point, I'm just gonna sing. I'm in a confident stage of my music and of my gift, again, of the gift that God has given me. So that's where I'm at right now.
So Jeniel, how long ago did you started getting serious about your music, where you started writing and putting out music? How long ago was that?
So in 2000, I tried, but then I end up, I got pregnant, and then I took a break. And then in 2021, can mentor me and just push me and give me that push that I need. And God sent Sandra and Dale. And that was about 2021. And ever since then, it's
So
just,
that's a year. That's like a year ago.
yeah.
And so like a year ago, you started writing and taking your career seriously. Tell us some of the artists that you have performed with, because like I personally think you have made tremendous strides in those years, in 1 year, pretty much.
Yeah.
So tell us about some of the shows that you've performed on shows, right?
Oh yes, I had the opportunity to perform among a lot of as the industry say, big names like DJ Nicholas, Marvia Providence, Sister Pat, love Sister Pat, and even Jabez. I also had the opportunity to perform with my mentor Sandra and Dale. So I had a lot of opportunity for a new artist. You know, God has been good.
So that shows you that you've been favored. You've been favored, and
Yes.
that is awesome. So Jeniel, as a Christian, I know you're juggling family, children, because I know that you're a married woman and you're juggling, you're raising your children, working, being a Christian, and like doing a career. And I cannot imagine that is easy. What is it like holding all of that together?
It is not easy. Sometimes I'm downstairs and I want to go over a song, or I want to, you're right, and then other things come back and you want to tidy up a song to get it to, and Liam is coming down and saying, "Mommy," and the mommy's gonna take up the baby, so it is not easy, but as I said, God had favored me. So with the family and with everything that goes on around me, I always find some time for music.
Yeah. It's like in your bones, huh? Like Jeremiah said, it's like shut up in my bones.
Yes.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's really awesome to see you like being steadfast, holding on to it and juggling everything. That's just wonderful.
And I must say, Georgia, it's not easy, especially being an independent artist. And that's how I got to this place where I said to myself, Jeniel, you know what? You just got to make it about God, because if you make it about the fame and the money and all of that, you will get disappointed. Because an individual, a young artist, an independent artist that doesn't have like the record label to back them, it can be hard. It can be stressful. It can be lonely at times. Sometimes feel like you're not going anywhere. Like, God, okay, is it my voice? Is it the song? What should I change? So it's not an easy journey.
Yeah.
It is not an easy journey, but I'm on the journey and I'm just going to keep going.
So you've been graced with the journey, which leads me to my next question. What are your favorite scriptures to hold you up in moments like that?
So when I feel like, okay, God, all right, okay, God, are you sure this is my purpose? Then I would just go back to Jeremiah, and God would remind me that, yes, Jeniel, it is. I know you before you were conceived.
Wow.
So before you're a parent, even,
wow.
I know you. So that gives me the courage to go on and know that I will be okay, and knowing that God timing and my timing is not the same.
Yeah. So in Story, when I was listening Story, you said that there were days when you were hungry. And like living in America, like when we say that we're hungry, we're not really hungry.
Yeah.
We just want the thing that we want, pretty much. Because, we eat around the clock. So help me to understand, was it that hungry that you were talking about? Like, well, I skipped my lunch today, it's dinner time. You say, oh, I'm famished. But we're really not. It's just that you skipped a meal. Like, is that really what you were talking about, Jeniel? Like,
nope, it's not about famish. It was about real hunger, real hungry. When your grandparents would not make supper at a certain time because they want to make sure before you go to bed you will be filled enough, or they would skip a meal or a 2 meal. Real hungry, real poor. So the other day someone saw the cover art for our story and said to me, but you didn't look hungry, man. And I said, you see, not everything glitter is gold. When I went to that place and took that picture, when I get back home, they would remove that dress and I would go back to play in the mud. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, it was real hungry.
Oh, wow. It's such a beautiful picture, like such a pretty little girl.
I know.
So it's not something that would be easy to imagine.
But at the time, it was my reality. So, but now, just like digging back into my diary, I call my memory my diary, just digging back. And I'm like, oh, Lord, it was really bad. And it's so funny, like, you know, all of us are here on earth to help each other up. And people that could assist wouldn't assist. They would rather talk.
Yeah.
And I'm just happy for that humble beginning, because it has helped me to see people, you know, just to see people. And like just put the gossiping aside and just see people.
Yeah. Because that was my next question, was to ask you, how did your journey from your humble upbringing, how did that prepare you for where you are now? And even like you said that you've performed with DJ Nicholas, Marvia Providence, Sister Pat, Jabez, like you've performed with all these big acts, which that is favorite, because a lot of young independent artists don't really get to be on a show where you're like bumping head with all these, like hitting edge, all these people. So like I was gonna ask you, how did that journey, how did it prepare you for where you are now, or did it prepare you?
Oh yes. I mean, who would I be maybe if I didn't endure those things? Maybe I would be a spoiled brat.
Wow.
Who knows? But I am thankful. I am thankful. My journey has given me the muscles that God know that I would need for this moment, for today. You know, so I appreciate it. No,
yeah, so you're not looking back and all sad, like why did you don't blame your parents or anything like that?
Nope.
Oh, okay, that's really wonderful.
Because if you look at the scripture, look at David. He was out in the field when Jesse came to anoint
Samuel.
When Samuel came to anoint the king, the father gave him what? All the other sons to anoint, right?
Yeah.
David was just out in the field.
Yeah,
so sometimes, you know, God is just gonna give you a humble upbringing, because He know where He's gonna take you, and He's gonna need it to have humility.
Yes. So there's a story that you had told me about, and it was one of the biggest nights of your career. Like you was doing this show, and she had told me about. I'm gonna let her finish it, but I'm just gonna give you a little backdrop. She had told me about getting this awesome opportunity. I think it was Praise Fest, and it's like this annual big concert that all these big acts are on, like DJ Nicholas, Maria Providence, and I know we've said their names along, but in Jamaican gospel music, these people are like the heavy hitters. And something happened to you at the exact moment.
Yes. So,
and then there were people that were speaking into your life at that moment, like your pastor, your mentor, and stuff like that. Tell us a little bit about that.
Wow. So that night was a miracle. Okay, so a couple of weeks before Praise Fest, so New Life Ministry International, they put on Praise Fest every year, and this year was like one of the biggest. And so Minister Dale get us all together, and you know, we were rehearsing all week. I went to Boston, I got back, boom. 1 week before the concert, I lost my voice.
Oh, it was a week before?
Yeah, it was a week before the concert. I lost my voice. Now I'm trying to fix my voice. I'm using everything. I'm fixing my voice. Okay, so now it was the night of the concert. It was time to do my sound check. The voice just went out like it. I didn't have any voice, y'all. So I said to Minister Dale, you know what, maybe you're gonna have to take me off. But
did it feel like, or how did it feel in that last moment for the final sound check on stage, and you're saying you're gonna have to take me off? Did you feel defeated?
I feel like a failure. Like, wow. I feel defeated. I want to cry. I mean, I was crying and I couldn't stop crying. Like, I'm crying and it's just like, it was a mess. But I went outside and my support system and everybody rally around me and keep encouraging me, and, and all right, we decided that I'm going to go on.
Wow.
I said, you know what? If I have to go and crow, I'm going on. And, they prayed for me. And I went on in faith. And it wasn't my best, but I could sing. I went on and I sang. And I feel victorious. I said, God, you did it. You did it. And I was so excited. Like, I feel like that was just a miracle. The fact that I get to sing. I can't explain the moment because it's so, yeah.
But did you ever think that, wow, if I flunk this could tarnish my career? Like, like, were those defeating thoughts coming in your head? Or it was just like, you know what? I'm going to go give my best and let God do the rest. Like, like.
At first, I wasn't even thinking about career or anything like that. I just felt defeated. Like, I can't do anything. But then, with the people encouraging me, the people that God put around me, and they encourage me, and, Sandra and Dale, they encourage me. And I got to a point where I said to myself, you know what? God gave me this for a reason, and I'm going to go and I'm going to do it. I don't know how the words, I don't know how the sound is going to come out, but I am going to go and I will do it. And I did.
Wow, that is just so beautiful. So guys, as Jeniel had said earlier on, that story will be out tomorrow.
Yes.
That's March 24th, 2023 on every major platform, and you've got to go out and listen this, because there are a lot of people that are not willing to let you know where they're coming from. They're too ashamed of where they're coming from. And like she said, like King David, he came from such a humble beginning, and everything that he went through, being out in the field with the sheep, all of that prepared him for being a king one day. And I believe in Jeniel's story, she's telling you that everything that she went through was like God was preparing her for this moment where she would become a humbled servant before God. And Jeniel, it was just awesome sitting down and talking to you. It was humbling for me, and it just shows me that we have a lot to give God thanks for.
Amen. And that's why in the song I said, Lord, I praise you.
Yes.
In everything I do, I will praise you. Just like looking back and see where I'm coming from.
Jeniel, I'm going to put you on the spot. Give us a little bit of story. Come on, give us a little acapella. I'm going to put her on the spot right now because it's a beautiful song, y'all.
Do you want the chorus? Do you want the
Yeah, the chorus. Wherever part you feel like you want to share.
God, I praise you in everything I do. Yes, I'm going to praise you. All right, guys, go out and listen to Story.
And thank you guys so much for tuning in, Jeniel. Thank you so much for sitting down with me today and talking.
My pleasure.
It was an absolute delight. And I reminded you guys to go out, support her. Support this woman of God.
And listen to Story and reflect.
I just want to share my story.
Just listen and reflect back on your past. And use your story to empower yourself and to move forward.
All right. See you guys on our next chat, and have a blessed day.
Bye.
I remember days